Hello, geography lovers, and welcome to today's class. And in today's class, we are going to look at a very important topic. And the topic we have been looking at is the topic soils. In today's lesson, I would like us to go through something that is very, very critical when it comes to geography, geology, and understanding some pedological concepts or facts. And that is especially when we are looking at finer details about the soil. And the main area that we are going to look at today is soil degeneration. Soil degeneration refers to the soil's tendency to lose its usefulness or its fertility. There are very many reasons that cause soil deterioration or soil degeneration. The main ones being soil erosion, application of chemical fertilizers excessively, also the industrial affluence being poured on the land, also overgrazing, whereby we keep excessive animals in our land. When we start by looking at soil erosion, there are very many agents of erosion, such as water, wind, and action of ice. These ones carry away the topsoil, and remember that the topsoil carries the most important part of soil profile, and that is the organic matter, which is very important in addition of nutrients into our soil. The other activity or human activity that leads to soil degeneration is excessive use of chemical fertilizers. Remember, chemical fertilizers can either be adding phosphates to the soil, sulfates, or some other metallic elements into the soil. And when you add excessive sulfate or phosphate fertilizers, you are basically going to increase the acidity of the soil. And remember, there is just a very short range of soil pH, which many or majority of vegetation can thrive, which is basically between 6 and 7.5 pH. And therefore, it is very important for us to ensure that we control the amount of chemical fertilizers that we are adding to our soil. And we need a specialist to ensure he or she tells us what level or amount of chemical fertilizers does our soil require. The other activity which is very detrimental when it comes to soil fertility or soil usefulness is overgrazing. This is the practice of keeping too many animals per unit area, for example, cattle, sheep, goats, etc. These ones eat away the grasses and vegetation, and this reduces the organic matter that is added by nature through the decomposition of organic matter or the decomposition of plant remains. And therefore, to be able to control this, it is important that we control the number of animals per unit area in our daily livestock rearing, in our ranches, or in our open fields, so that we can ensure that our soil remains fertile and productive for a longer time. And the other reason that leads to soil deterioration or soil degeneration is the industrial affluents that are being directed to our land or poured away as waste onto our lands by factories like sugar factories, like cotton ginneries, like leather tannery factories, and other chemicals that are ejected from those industries or factories that lead to the dumping of those dangerous and poisonous chemicals. So it is very important that we adhere to laws of the land, whichever land you are in, to ensure that we protect our soil, that it may continue producing quality vegetation, quality food products, and so that we can de-risk uh, the tendency of those carcinogenic foods that come into our table after they have grown in areas that are contaminated with industrial chemicals. So there are very many other reasons or causes of soil deterioration or soil degeneration, and we are supposed to look at all of them. But every one of us has a responsibility of ensuring that we take care of our soil. So, for example, when we are doing the mining and the quarrying, it is very important that once we have removed the topsoil and the minerals, and then instead of leaving those mining derelicts, it is important that we bring fertile soil from other areas and fill up those quarries, and they are going to be restoring the soil that had been lost through mining or open cast mining processes. So let's ensure that each one of us takes care of the soil they have that we have been provided by nature to make sure that the soil continues to feed us, because we know that it is the one that feeds us. Lastly, I would like to talk about excessive irrigation, because it is very important to use irrigation for food security to ensure there is continuity supply of enough or sufficient food for all of us. But when we apply the water through irrigation excessively, remember the water dissolves valuable minerals that are in the soil, and therefore when this soil is dissolved, the minerals are dissolved, they are washed down through the process of leaching. And we understand that the leaching process is the process by which dissolved minerals from the top layers of the soil are washed down through percolation to the lower layers of the soil. And this leads to soil degeneration and deterioration. So let's apply the amount of water that is required by our crops based on the type of soil we have and the type of crop that we have. And it is very important that you consult a specialist to be able to guide you through the use of irrigation method of cultivation. So let's take care of our soil through controlled grazing, through controlled irrigation, through controlled application of fertilizers, and we are going to continue enjoying the services of nature that has been provided to us. Until next time, in the next lesson, I am wishing you all the best in your studies, your research, and may God bless you. Shalom.